Hello students, welcome to today's lesson on estimate. So today we're going to do a lesson on estimation and how to estimate figures. We'll look at estimation by sum and then we'll look at estimation by difference. When we say difference, it means we are talking about subtraction. Okay? So the two things are sum, which is addition, and then subtraction, which is difference. What is estimation? Estimation means that you want to make a reasonable guess of an actual figure or number or an amount. Okay, so whenever you have a figure, you need to make an estimation. It means that your estimation is a reasonable guess close to the actual number or the actual amount. We're going to look at some examples of estimation. You also need to bring your knowledge of rounding when you are always doing estimation, because most times you need to round your figures to the nearest 10 or to the nearest 100 or to the nearest 1,000, depending on the instruction or depending on the numbers that you are dealing with. Okay, good. So on the board we have the meaning of estimating, which is a reasonable guess of an actual number or an amount. That is estimating. Okay, so now we have these figures that we're going to do the estimating. So we'll look at how it will go for you to understand estimation. We have 19 plus 23 here. We have to add it up. So this side is the actuals and then this side is the estimation. So with 19 we have to find the estimation of 19. 19 is very close to 20. So we have to estimate this 19 to 20. Okay? Okay. 23 is also very close to 20. So you have to estimate that to 20. Now we are doing addition, which is sum, so we have to bring our sign here. 20 plus 20 will give us 40. Now let's look at the actual figure here. So this plus this will give us 12. We carry 1 plus 1 here, so this and this will give us 3 plus 1, which is 4. So we have 42. So 42 and 40 are very close. So which means that our estimated figure is very close to the actual. Okay? Now let's look at this one as well. 402 and then 198. 402 is very close to 400. 198 is also very close to 200. So these two will give us 600. Okay? Okay. Now let's look at the actuals as well. So with the actuals, we also have this and that will give us 0 here. We bring carry 1, which will also give us 0, and then this will give us 6. So you see we have 600 here, we have 600 here. Our estimation is even very close to that of our actuals. Always remember that if your number is very close to a bigger number, that is where you have to estimate to. If it is less, the count is less to the other number, you have to then count backwards. So assuming this is 14, we cannot go to 20, but we have to do what? Reverse backwards. Okay. Now let's look at estimation by subtraction. So estimation by subtraction or by difference, we're going to subtract. But first we need to estimate this to the nearest value or amount. So 38 will give us 40. 14 is very close to 10, more than 20. So it has to be 10. So that will give us 10. We are doing subtraction. So which means we're going to subtract this from this one. So 10 from 40 will give us 30. So let's look at this actual one. So the actual one, this minus this, will give us 4 and 2. So we have 24 to be actual, and then we have 30 to be the estimation. Now let's look at this one, 2. 287 is very close to 300. 93 is very close to 100. So this minus this will give us 200 because we are doing subtraction. So we take this from this and give us 200. Okay. Now let's look at the actual. 3 from 7 will give us 4. This from this is not possible. Bring here. So we have 9 and then we have 1. So this is our actual. This is our estimated figure. So we see the difference. Your estimated, your actual. On this video, I'm going to post to you on the Telegram page your first activity on this lesson. So you look forward to get your activity in the group, and I believe that you are going to score very high points on your activities. I thank you very much for joining this session. I hope to see you on the second session. Hello, welcome back to our second session on today's lesson, estimation. So we'll be looking at how we can do estimating by sum and by differences, which is of course subtraction. On our first session, we looked at how various numbers here were estimated to these figures, and then our answers were very close to that of the actuals. We also looked at how we can do estimation by difference, which is subtraction, and then we demonstrated how figures could be estimated from this point to the other point. And also here we also realized that our answers are quite different because estimation in most cases will give you different answers because it is a guess of a reasonable amount or a number. On this session, we're going to do our second activity, which is task 2. We're going to estimate a group of numbers, which I'll send to you in the group. But I have 2 examples here to show to you how you can successfully find answers to those questions in task 2. The instruction of the question says that you are supposed to round up your numbers to the nearest 10 before you do your addition. So first of all, you look at your numbers that you have. In this instance, we only have 2 digits numbers. But when you look at this instance here, we have 3 digits numbers. So it is quite easy for you to convert this into the nearest 10. But somehow, you need to take a second look at converting the 3 digits into the nearest 10. So quickly, we look at this one. So changing this to the nearest 10 will give us 20 and 70 because it is 5 here, okay? So it has to be 70 because 5 is more than 4. So when you want to convert to the nearest 10, it has to be 70, okay? So we have this, and this 2 will give us 90. So we have 90 to be here, and then let's look at our answer for our actuals. We have this giving us 8, and then this is also giving us 8. So we have 8, 8, and 90, so which means there's a difference. Our estimated figure is different from our actual figure. Okay, now let's look at this one. We have 528, we need to change this to the nearest 10. Then we have 255, we have to change to the nearest 10. So when we are changing to the nearest 10, we are looking at these numbers, okay? So this is our ones, this is our tens, and this is our hundreds. So we need to change this to the nearest 10. But the power of the next door number is going to determine if this is going to remain as 2 for 20 or it's going to increase. Because this is more than 5, it has to increase it. So we will have 530 because 8 is giving 1 point to this one. And then this is also more than 5, it's 5, so it's supposed to give to 260. We are doing. So we have, before we can then do our addition. So we have 0, 9, and then we have 7. So we have 790 for this one. So let's look at our actual. So this and this will give us 3. Then we have plus 1 here. So it becomes 7 plus 1, that will give us 8. And then this will give us 7. So we have 783 here, we have 790. Our estimated figure is different from the actual. I'll send the actual questions to you so that you can find answers to it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the third video. Welcome to our third session of this lesson of estimating. We have looked at estimating from our first session and our second session. On this third session, we are going to have our homework for the day so that we can close our lesson on estimating today. On our homework, we have this instruction that we're supposed to do a front-end estimation. So we are supposed to do a front-end estimation. So with a front-end estimation, what you're supposed to do is that if your digit is 2, you need to round it off to the nearest 10. If your digit is 3, you have to round it off to the nearest 100, okay? So this is an example that I'm going to do for you to see how you can do your homework by doing front-end estimation, okay? So this is an example that we're going to look at, okay? So with an example 1, your 64 will be estimated to 60. So we have 60, and then your 22 will be estimated to 20. We are doing addition, so this plus this will give us 80. We have 578, which will estimate it to 600, because 578 is very close to 600. 271 is also very close to 300, so we have to estimate that to 300. So we do plus. So 600 plus 300 will give us 900. Okay. So this is about front-end estimation, whereby if your digit is 2, you estimate to 2. If your digit is 3, you estimate it to 3 digits before you do your addition. Okay? I wish you good luck in your homework, and I hope to see them before our next lesson. Thank you for joining class today. Goodbye.